Well, speaking of getting a taste, this Thursday the sports world will be gathering in La Jolla for the 16th annual Taste of the Cove. Two big honorees include, it's one part star-studded party, it's the other part a very important fundraiser that helps local athletes get much-needed free medical treatment. Here are the details. If you want to get involved, register at tasteofthecove.com. We'll talk more about that with the man who is the brains behind the operation. He is the founder of the San Diego Sports Medicine Foundation, which puts on this event. Dr. David Chao, longtime team physician for the San Diego Chargers. 16th year. Is this thing now on autopilot?
It's a lot of work. I have a lot of great help from Wells Fargo, has been the main sponsor for 16 years, to Kira Finkenberg, who runs all the stuff. And if you need tickets, Kira's the one that you'll see on the website. So we have a lot of help from a lot of great donors, Coca-Cola, you name it, and that's how we put it together. It's a true community effort.
You're a man of many titles, but for the sake of this conversation, you are the founder of the San Diego Sports Medicine Foundation, which is trying to help out local youth. Can you explain the motivation behind the fundraiser?
Well, you know, the motivation was there's a lot of kids out there that get hurt that don't always get good care or don't have insurance. So, you know what you do for kids in the Pigskin Report is awesome, but if one of your players goes down with an injury and they don't have insurance or they have an $8,000 deductible, they're stuck. So we run free Saturday morning injury clinics. We do free surgeries, MRIs, braces. We put 8 athletic trainers, help put 8 of them in the South Bay. We've done over $2 million of free surgery and care over the 16 years. And there's been a lot of doctors and therapists and anesthesiologists who have all helped out.
You always honor a few people, 2 people. Your honorees tonight, or Thursday night, pretty exemplary stuff.
We have a what we call a community legend, and this year it's Randy Jones, and the criteria is a MVP type person on and off the field. Which is Randy, you know, and with great ties to San Diego. And Bill Johnston is our medical champion. He's not a medical professional, but look at all the stuff he's done for Huntington's disease, his wife. He's raised over $1 million. And in his role with the Chargers as PR director, and it so happens he's actually now with the Padres, but he's helped hundreds of charities, including Taste of the Cove, over the 16 years of our existence.
Certainly 2 very important people in our community, and well deserved of the recognition. You also have a pretty important MC. How did you get Dick Enberg out of retirement?
Well, we said that, Paul, you were busy, so Dick said he would step in.
Yeah.
And
well, you know, he's a good second choice.
Well, he's great. I'll tell you a funny story about Dick Enberg, and I told him this today. But when I was young, growing up in L.A., he was a sportscaster in L.A., and I thought, you know, I love sports, and I saw him once at Magic Mountain with his son, and I was like, this is the greatest thing in the world. You know, my first brush with greatness, so to speak. So real excited, and the best thing is Dick doesn't even need a parking pass. He walks right over to the event, right in La Jolla there.
Very cool. So we were talking about the medical treatment that kids need. For an example, like what goes on in football, you can't get through a football season without getting hurt. The art of healing someone quickly is very important, and I guess that's what we're kind of talking about here, right?
Well, quickly and safely, yeah. Right? I mean, you want both. You want to get healed, you want to get to 100%, and you want to do it very safely. And so, you know, that's what doctors and sports medicine is all about. And for kids that don't have access to it, you know, we try and get them some access. And starting this Saturday, free plug here, 9 o'clock, free injury clinic starting this Saturday morning.
And we'll make sure we put all that information up on our website. Jerry Schneep, the CIF commissioner from San Diego section, was sitting in that chair just 24 hours ago, and we were talking about the declining numbers of football enrollment around the county. Listen to what he had to say about the future of football.
We've seen about a 2% decrease in California over the last year in participation in football. So parents have more information than they've ever had, and they're making conscious decisions of at what risk they want to put their child in. I will say this, that there's risk in football, there's risk in any sport. The sport, in my opinion, has never been safer than it is today.
Do you concur with that statement, that the game is getting safer? And do you think, like technology, do you think a new super improved helmet might save the sport?
We'd love it. There's a lot of talk about the new viscous helmet, and it does rate higher than the other helmets, but you have to remember, helmets were invented to prevent skull fractures. They were never invented to prevent concussions. They do a great job, all of them, of preventing skull fractures. There were people that were dying way back when before the harder helmets. So it does a good job there. So we are getting better with technology, but there's no way to get rid of all of it. I always compare playing football to riding a motorcycle. It's more dangerous than in your car, but a car is dangerous too. And to me, it's a choice. You know, do you want to ride a motorcycle? It's not illegal. Do you want to play football? It's up to you.
So do you think this hysteria regarding concussion, CTE, do you think that will ever tamp down, or are we just seeing the beginning of it?
Well, you know, I do hope the hysteria tamps down. I mean, we talked last time about, you know, some of the stuff, and I wrote an article for the Union Tribune. Basically, there is a hysteria out there right now. Look, there is good reason to worry. There's good reason for concern. But if you go down the street or talk to the average person, they say every player is going to get CTE. That's not the case. Right now, that one Boston University study that was biased in a sample says essentially everyone gets some form of it, but that's not to the general population yet. At a meeting about a month ago in LA of neurologists, world-renowned neurologists, they literally had a talk saying what media is saying and what the medical reality is, and they weren't the same things.
And before we let you go, we have to talk about, you know, you spent a lot of time with the Chargers. You know Bob Wick really well. Were you surprised that the longtime equipment manager was let go under mysterious circumstances?
I'm surprised that he's no longer with the team. I mean, he's such a heart and soul of that team. He's been around forever. As a matter of fact, for Taste the Cove, he would always help me out. Whenever I needed an item for that, he'd get me the nice wholesale price. I'd write a check to the Chargers and get it signed. And for example, one of the items that we're auctioning off this year is an actual, you know, Hall of Famer LT, an actual game helmet with his visor, with his special equipment, whatever. And Bob helped me purchase that through the team. So, I mean, I can't thank Bob enough, and sorry to see him part ways.
All right, well, we're going to throw the graphic up. You have a chance to, people can buy a table. How does it work? Just tickets?
Table or tickets, whatever you want. If you go to the website, and you'll see, and there's a form on there, and there's an email for Kira, who's great, and she'll help you out for the big event on Thursday.
All right, I promise you we'll have a camera there Thursday, and I promise you we'll have a camera there Saturday morning as you distribute some of this medical treatment to the youngsters. Dr. David Chao, special guest, always welcome here at KUSI. Back to you guys.